Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns. When my grandchildren visit, we like to play games. Some of those games include cards. Their hands are small. They have a hard time holding their hands. In the past, I'd made boards for each of them with a slanted slot that they could hold their cards in, sits on the table in front of them. But they still like to hold their cards in their hand like the big people do. The other day I saw in a store a round plastic card holder. I thought, well, why can't that be wood and round? After all, if I can make it from wood, I don't want plastic. So I designed a card holder that kids can use to hold their cards. It's actually a fairly simple design. It consists of two outer discs that are tapered in the middle to enable sliding a card easily between them. It has an edge there. These outer cylinders are held in place with an inner hollow cylinder so that they're aligned. The tension is provided by an elastic band. This actually was a girl's hairband. Now, to keep that in place, there's a very small disc, in this case I made it from maple, that enables that to be in tension and to hold the other plates in place. Then it's fairly easy for a child to insert the card and to be able to play their hand. So let's make a child's card holder.
I'm starting with 2 segmented rings in walnut left over from a previous project. This project does not require segmented ring construction. These could have been 2 solid pieces of wood. I've put small pieces of double stick tape between the 2 pieces and again between them and a wood faceplate. I'm rounding them off together to ensure that they are the same diameter. This seemed to be a reasonable option rather than measuring both. These rings are a bit too big, so I'm parting off the outer portion. I'll figure out another way to use a scrap ring. After a little fiddling, I'm boring out the center. The hole is around 1 inch in diameter. Then I'll turn a recess in the disc that I will use later to mount the disc. This side will be on the inside of the holder. Whoops, I did not use enough double stick tape. The disc just came off the faceplate. My tape was more on the outer rings, and they not mount exactly where they were, but they're close. Next I'll remove the top disc so I can cut a mounting recess in the other disc. Next I've mounted one disc on my small jaws in an expansion grip. I'll thin down the ring to be lighter and more graceful. I'll cut the face with an ogee process that I've learned from Jimmy Clues. I'll mark about halfway over the curve and cut a cove in the outer portion. Then with the cove cut, I'll mark it off in thirds and round over the middle third between the flat and the cove. Voila, my ogee. When complete, I'll sand and finish it with a friction polish. Then on to the second disc. Same process, thin it down, cut the ogee, sand, and finish. Now for the outer discs. I'm using maple left over from another old project. These pieces have a piece of walnut veneer glued into a wave cut. Again, the wave is not necessary. With double stick tape, I stuck them together and pre-drilled holes 3/4 inch apart. Then I mounted them to a faceplate again with double stick tape. Again, I should have used more double stick tape, so this time I used hot melt glue. Then cut a pleasing profile, sand, and finish. The back side of these discs will be hidden. And repeat for the other disc. Cut the profile, sand, and finish. The final part is a short hollow cylinder that keeps everything in position. I'm using a scrap piece of walnut chucked into my long-nosed jaws. I'll reduce the diameter to fit the holes in the large discs. Then bore out the center with a Forstner bit. Finally, part off a length to fit inside the two outer discs. Assembly consisted of putting all the pieces in place and tying a girl's stretchy hair loop in a knot. After applying thin CA glue to the hair loop where I wanted to cut it, I cut off the excess. The CA should prevent fraying. And voila! We have a card holder for my grandchildren to use when playing cards. Or maybe my parents may want to use one also. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my website and YouTube channel. Safe turning makes for good turning. Please wear your face shield. Until next time, this is Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns.